The only thing about this time is it's entirely self-inflicted. I mean, this isn't an external series of combustible events coming together. I think this will take the United States into a recession and take the world into some degree of recession. A lot of people think that China is able to withstand the tariffs better than the US. I don't know how true that is or not. I cannot see Trump's pursuit of tariffs resulting in anything than an increase in inflation and a diminution of growth and in high likelihood a recession. And I feel very depressed about the prospect, to be absolutely honest with you.
How on earth, as an investor, do you navigate amongst what's going on with Trump's tariffs?
The answer is it's obviously extremely difficult, not least of which there doesn't appear to be an overarching strategy here. And his decisions seem to be implemented or reversed, I wouldn't say in a random fashion, but in a fashion that's not predictable in any rational analysis. I mean, if you remember, they whacked their tariffs up last week, and we were assured that there was no possible way that this could be reversed at all under any circumstances by a number of individuals who said that, only for exactly that to happen about 90 minutes later. By the way, I thought it was the right thing to do, but nevertheless, we're navigating in an environment where usual forecasting or making judgment skills is profoundly difficult because of the random nature of it. The other thing that's really very extraordinary and worrisome, in my opinion, is that in my near 50-year career since I started work in 1976, David, we will remember periods of extreme volatility well. The 87 crash, a biggie.
30% drop in 2 days.
Then we had the Lehman collapse, another hugely nasty time, and then COVID.
And we had the 2 Iraq wars. Remember, the FTSE got down to about 3,200 for the second Iraq war. No, we've seen them, Michael, you're right.
The only thing about this time is it's entirely self-inflicted. I mean, this isn't an external series of combustible events coming together and a storm landing upon us. This is something that has been triggered and created, in my opinion, for no long-term gain for the United States economy, in my opinion. Of course, that wouldn't be shared by the MAGA crowd, but the overwhelming number of economists whom I rate do not believe this is going to result in any material benefit to the United States at all.
To say that Bill Ackman from Pershing stepping up to the plate saying, look, we need a 90-day moratorium.
And Jamie Dimon.
And Jamie Dimon, yeah. Do you think that Trump is now looking for a get-out-of-jail card?
Regrettably, all that Trump really is looking for is a moment when he can say, you know, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, we won. They've been over here, they're kissing my ass, which an astonishing phrase that he used, in my opinion, a reflection of the degradation of the overall quality of the administration. The issue with, I think, Besant, who has a good reputation.
Very good reputation.
Lutnick, I'm afraid, less so. Is that anybody who works in the Trump administration has to really bend their knee at the foot of the emperor.
Loyalty is the name, isn't it?
Because if you don't follow his every word and his every decision and support his manifest genius, then you will be thrown out.
Talking of that flight to quality, gold. I mean, we're up at record levels of around 300, 3,200. Some people say it could go to 4,500 in the next 2 years. Do you think?
I mean, obviously with gold, you can't look at gold in a fashion where you can say the price earnings multiple and the yield and the growth of earnings growth of the stock. You can't evaluate gold in an environment where it's got the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You know, whether, you know, if you look at the bond market, you compare yields in US dollars, in yields in Swiss francs and in euros and in all the other currencies, and you can have a perspective on why. And you've got a yield curve, and so there's a lot of data around there. You can make some evaluation of where you think you want to invest your money for the best return. There is no There is no toolkit for that available in the gold market. It is absolutely that. If people are piling in, and there's a huge cash inflow into ETFs, gold ETFs,
Yeah.
it appears to be. I can't think of anything to invest in the equity market. I don't want to touch the bond market.
Where do
All
I
that's
go?
left is gold.
Go.
So, and if that's cash, so the whole question is here: is that uncertainty, that destabilization that we're currently facing, is that going to continue? If it does, the cash flow into gold will continue.
It's also
And if
helped,
the
I
cash
think,
flow
by
in gold continues, the price will go up. And you can't say it's going to stop at 3,000, 5,000, 4,000. I mean, who knows?
who knows? No.
Everybody would, I'm sure, want to ask you, where do you see the markets going from here? I understand that's a completely impossible question because of the volatility, but you must have a view somewhere.
Well, my personal view is, if broadly speaking, Trump continues along his line of pursuing tariffs, I mean, the exact numbers, of course, we don't know.
Yeah.
I think this will take the United States into a recession and take the world into some degree of recession. A lot of people think that China is able to withstand the tariffs better than the US. I don't know how true that is or not. I mean, the tariff structures that they are proposing to implement between China and the United States are such that most people say trade will shrink dramatically between those two, which will result, obviously, in all sorts of global shifts that are difficult to predict now. But I cannot see Trump's pursuit of tariffs resulting in anything than an increase in inflation and
Definitely.
a diminution of growth, and in high likelihood a recession. And I feel very depressed about the prospect, to be absolutely honest with you.
They own 5% China of US debt, which is about $750 billion, I understand it, of $36 trillion worth of debt. I mean, we've seen the 10 and 30-year yields go up substantially, which means servicing that debt is going to cost the United States an awful lot of money. Do you think China could might bring influence to bear to Trump by saying, we own a big chunk of your debt, son?
I mean,
Who knows?
I mean, this is the big speculation. Are the Chinese going to start dumping their debt? My own instinct is very unlikely. I mean,
liquid, isn't it?
Well, not just liquidity. I think that would be a foolhardy step to take. I mean, would be a particularly brutal flag of aggression